The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Yes, Professor Nath, please go ahead.
Okay, can I start?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so hello everyone, good evening. And in the series of webinars from our university, this is our second presentation. And in today's presentation, we'll talk about the significance of COs and the preparation of COs in realizing the OBE. COs, basically course outcomes, are one of the essential building blocks of OBE. In this webinar, we will discuss about the need of COs, its impact on OBE, and how to construct COs for a given course. To start the session, I'll just outline the course, session outcome of this presentation. And I planned the session in this way. At the end of this session, the the learner or attendees will be able to understand the importance of course outcomes, design a set of COs from given course, and judge the quality of COs and provide subsequent recommendations therein. An entire session is divided into some sections. In the first section, we will introduce the concept of course outcomes and the reason behind it. And in the part 2, we will discuss one example with diversified learners and preparation of COs for a particular course. In the last part of this presentation, we will prepare COs and it would be a case studies. So let's start the things, this presentation, this webinar, to understand. To start a bit, let us have a look at this diagram presented on the screen. It's actually under construction bridge over an ocean that is connecting two ends of the ocean. Whenever we look at this picture, and many things comes to our mind. This type of projects are certainly demonstrates a progress of the country. Crores of rupees are invested to make the life of people comfortable. Hard-earned taxpayers' money is invested in such projects for better life. But however, if end of the day, if we get a product of this type, it's not very promising one. It's not the achievement. Basically, the achievement is not as per our expectations. We can say that it is a very good unuseful work is being done. So what happened here? Why it happens? Why this type of outcome is coming into existence, or why this outcome is happening? Why these two ends of the bridge are not aligned together? Might be there is a lack of coordination between the two teams working on the project, or in other words, none of the parties that is contributing to this project did keep their end results in mind. So this same thing happens to our education system also. The employers from industry, the educational analyst, the reviewers of education system says that there is a misalignment in what we teach and what the industry need. Despite of consistent effort to make our students employable, there is a big unemployment at the end of the day. But where is the problem? Are we not capable of producing good engineers, or we do not know what should our students know to be employable, or in other words, our products are not industry ready? Whatever the matter, we must have to address these issues before it is being too late. That is what the OBE is aimed at. So India has signed the Washington Accord in 2014 with NBA as the authorized signatory. And since then, Indian engineering institutions have opted the OBE model in education. So as a result of integration of OBE in the education system, ample of opportunities have come up to our students and at the same time it has brought to us a number of challenges. But the question is, challenges, it has brought the challenges to whom? The students, to teachers, or to someone else? For time being, let's hold this question, to whom the challenges are coming. We will continue this presentation, and after certain time we will see, or we'll try to answer this question. So this OBE, there are certain changes has come up as a result of implementing OBE in the engineering education. There are some changes are minor changes, like in terminologies, and some are major changes. In the terminology, few changes are like branch is now, it is called a program, subject is known as course, students are now called graduates, teaching, the concept of teaching is being converted to, or it is altered with the term learning. Classrooms are even nowadays called, in terms of OBE, it is called learning rooms, and list goes on. Apart from that, there are certain major changes also takes place. These major changes includes the teacher-centric approach of earlier education is now being converted to learner-centric approach. As a result, responsibility of teaching is now, it goes to the students as to students responsibility of learning. What I mean to say, previously before OBE, the concept was it's the responsibility of the teacher to teach, but now in OBE it is learner's responsibility. That means the student's responsibility is to learn. So because the logic behind it is said that knowledge cannot be transferred, rather it is to be acquired. So along with that, whenever we deliver some course to the students or to learners, we must have to keep both the parties, either the learner or the delivery person, means the teacher, need to keep the end result in mind. So as a part of this OBE says that produce graduates who can accomplish the need of the industry. So to measure the skills, to measure the ability of the students, basic objective of OBE is to harvest skills, knowledge, attitude in the prime objective of OBE. Harvesting skills, knowledge, and attributes in the students or the graduates, so that they can meet the expectation of the industry. And this actually comes into existence of measured through graduate attributes. That means the harvesting, whether skills, knowledge, and attitude is being harvested to the student or graduates or not, that is being measured by some kind of attributes which are called POs. That is, these POs, program outcomes, these program outcomes are designed by the NBA, and they have designed some model for these POs, and it is a part of this OBE system. And these POs are supposed to be judged by level of learning, and learning is determined through assessment, and assessment is analyzed by evaluation. Evaluation is directly influenced by questions. Questions are based on expectations. Expectations, it is basically penned down in terms of course outcomes. So by this slide, or by this conversation, I wanted to that what is the importance of COs. And to understand the importance of COs, we need to understand what industry need from our graduates. Industry need, the students or the graduates of engineering should have some skills, they should have some knowledge, they should have some attributes, which is fit according to the OBE model. In order to meet those, or in order to measure those skills or knowledge, set of POs are given. Those set of POs are being aligned by a set of different operations like learning, assessment, evaluation, and all together it gives through the concept of course outcomes. So this is the importance of course outcomes. The moral of the story, we can say the course outcomes, or so-called COs, are the founding blocks of OBE. So at this point, I will just recap what we have aimed at, because this is one of the matter in OBE system. Well, whenever we deliver the content to students, It is important to understand whether the students have learned or not. So we have, at the beginning of this presentation, we have seen that these are the set of outcomes or session planning that we are made to deliver during this presentation. The first one is the opening statement. Second one is the preparing the background for the example for explaining the COs in the success of OB and significance of COs. Till so far, we have delivered to understand what is significance of the significance of COs, and in order to understand that, I have delivered, or so-called I have taught why the COs is important, but it is understand to know. We need to understand whether did the learner have learned the concept. So in order to assess that, what we can do, we can assess the learning level of students. In order to learning level of students, a question is given to the student, and this question, in this case, I'm just putting the question in the way, recapitulate the implication of well-crafted COs in the accomplishment of OBE in higher education, and it has 6 marks. It is just an example to explain why COs are important. We will continue in the next part. So this question will be evaluated in this way. First of all, how the students will learn, based on that, how the students will answer this question, based on that the answer will be evaluated. Based on the marks obtained, we will come to know whether they have understood the concept delivered or not. This is one part of the OB system where actually COs come into picture, or CO need to be designed for any given course. So here at this point, let us clearly understand why these COs are important, how or what are the steps to be taken in order to design a good set of COs. This is a very old diagram that is been that is available, that is known to all the teachers and students, where this concept says that in our education system we have a classroom with diversified category of students. Out of that, here in this picture it is said that monkeys, elephants, fishes and dogs all are in the same class, and we are using the same type of evaluation scheme or pattern, that is to understand the ability of those participants or the learner. But let us have a look in this picture in a different way. Suppose that all these learners in the picture given here is now classified into 4 different groups, keeping similar animals in the same group. In group A, we have monkeys. In group B, we have elephants, then fishes, and then dogs. Now, for this group of 4 learners, we need to design a set of COs for delivery of the course Survival Awareness. Now, question is how to prepare these COs. We have different choices for that. Let us have a look at all the different choices that we can design COs for the course Survival Awareness. And the first choice is designing a common CO for all the learners. And these COs, our first CO we have designed for delivering this course is understand the importance of forest for survival. CO2, demonstrate the ability to climb trees, and CO3, that better location of banana trees. Suppose that these are the COs which has been designed for delivering the course which is called survival awareness. So if we look at the COs designed for the subject, then if this is whether we need to find is this set of COs are good or bad, or is this a good one that can be fit for all the learners? It's a question. Now if you see here, you must have to keep in mind in our mind the end result of this course outcome. And if we look at very carefully, understand the importance of forest for survival, that may be useful for group A and B, but it is not good for learner group C and learner group D. Similarly, demonstrate the ability to climb trees is applicable only for group A but not for others. That's why finally, I mean, that's why we can say that this is not a very good set of COs designed for the said course. Now let us have a look at the second set or second choice for designing these goals. Here we have slightly modified the COs for delivering of the course, and here what we are writing: understand the importance of living environment. A slight change is being done in the CO1. Then demonstrate the ability to traverse the surroundings. Number 3 is judge the better location of the suitable food. So this is somewhat better than the previous choice. However, while deploying this or while implementing these COs for a course, we must have to keep it in mind the following things. Like, these are the set of COs. These COs are designed at the beginning of the course, but while delivering for, this is a common set of COs for all the groups. That's why we must have to think about the environment where we will be delivering the lecture. In that case, while delivering CO1 for group A, that is monkeys, we must have to talk about forest. For group B, we can talk about forest, but for group C, we must have to talk about water, because group C is the group of fishes, not like monkeys or animals, any other animals like elephants. Similarly, for dogs, we should talk about the residential area. So here question is, the CO is common, but while implementing the COs, while delivering the topics of that particular CO in the lecture room, what we need to do, we need to use the different environment for all the different groups. Similarly, CO2 demonstrate the ability to traverse the surrounding. First of all, for group A, we should teach them the learning, or the learner should learn about climbing. For group B, it should be roaming. For C, it is swimming, and for group D, it is roaming and running. And for 3, similarly, CO3, and for group A, it should be banana, and for group B, it should be banana trees, then waste food in water, then waste food on surface. That will meet the need, or that only then the all group of learners can show their ability and perform. They can perform better in their learning process. So what actually, these are 2 choices we have given. One more choice we have: let us have a different COs for all the groups. Previously, we have designed 2 different, one common COs for all groups. In the first one, choice 1, there is no change in the environment used. In the group 2, we have changed the environment to be taught in the course. In the in choice 3, separate COs are designed for all the 3 different groups. In case of A, understand the importance of forest, demonstrate the ability to climb trees, and judge better and safer location for eatable banana. Like in group B, it is understanding importance of forest. Of course, this is same, but demonstrate the ability to break a tree. And the third one is judge better location of banana, tea, and sugar cane. Similarly, for group C, understand the importance of water body, demonstrate the ability to swim, to find to find eatable food, and for judging better water body with proper current and food. So these are 3 different COs that is designed for, actually 4. All the 4 different groups will be defining 4 different set of COs in order to deliver the same course. Here the question is, for this same course, we are designing different 4 different set of COs based on the type of learner that we have in the lecture room or in the learner room. So now, which one is better? If we see the comparison, if we compare all the COs for this course for all different 4 learners, we can see that the last one is the better choice, because it will address the various issues of each of the learners in a different way. And of course, if we test them about their learning, they will be able to show their ability, because those things, whatever the concept taught in the lecture, they will learn, because it is all as per their expectation, and they are good in performing those things. That's why here the question is, can we do that? What I mean to say, same course, and for the same course learners are different, but we are designing 4 different course outcomes for the same course. Is it possible? One way, the OB say that global equalization for worldwide acceptance of our products, that means graduates. On the other hand, what we are doing, we are suggesting different sets of COs and different set of learners. Is it acceptable or is it possible? And the good news is yes, we can do that. So why it is so? Basically, if we talk about engineering courses, engineering graduates admitted into different admitted into different institutions, actually they have their different objectives in their mind. Of course, BTech say computer engineering, we have the same subjects in IITs, IISCs, NITs, or premier institutions. Everywhere the course taught are same. However, type of learners in those institutions like IITs, NITs, or any private institutions, premier organizations, they are different. And in that case, the OBE or this NBA has specified POs for all programs, but they have left the designing of COs to various individual institutions. Basically, the teacher or the faculty who is responsible for teaching the subject can design the COs in order to meet the expectation of the learner of that particular institution. Because it is very obvious that we cannot transform a tiger into a lion. In fact, it is not necessary, because both the species have their own abilities and attitude. They can create their own identity on the art. That's why those who are admitted into IITs, they aim for Facebook, Google, Stanford, Harvard, like that. Similarly, NIT people, NIT graduates, they have their own expectation in their mind. So that is why it is really possible to design different set of COs. But however, main objective is to make them skilled, make them knowledgeable in that particular area. But still, this CO preparation, it is said that preparation of CO we should keep the end result in our mind. Here, basic end result is the expectation of the students or the learners that we address in the class. So that is why it is possible to design COs, and in our objective is to design effective COs that the class or the mass that we have in front of us, or whatever the mass we have, based on taking into account that quality of students or the objectives or expectation of those learners, we can design our course outcome for a specific course, no matter whether different, those learners are learning the same course or a different course. So at this point, we have covered the third part of this webinar or presentation. But here till so far we have learned why the importance, how the COs can be designed effectively, and here is one assessment we can do, but we'll not continue this assessment right now. Now we'll go to the last part of this webinar, that how to prepare an effective CO and how to prepare CO and PO mapping for a particular course. And those actually who are related, who are actually associated with implementation of OV of any university, or those who are teaching various subjects, they are aware of COs and also CO-PO mapping. While preparing the COs, the basic objective and basic problem that we face, how to prepare an effective COs. Then second point comes into picture, how to map those COs into program outcomes. This is that we are going to discuss with the help of some example. So this is a subject course, soft computing. It is in master's level. It is a master's level program, master's level course. And this soft computing is a subject where we have various units, 6 units we have, and this is one part of the syllabus. With the help of this syllabus, we will try to understand how we can prepare a set of COs to meet the need of the learner and to deliver the content in a proper manner. And the process of preparing COs is divided into different phases. In the first phase, what we will do, we will find out the various keywords in the syllabus. Okay, select and highlight the terms or phases in the unit that leads to some key concept in the course. In this course, the basic idea is discussing the concept of soft computing, neural networks, fuzzy logic. Then similarly, some other concepts are also there, like fuzzy expert system. So what we are doing, we are highlighting few of the concepts which has been the basic objective of the course. So key concept: introduction to the soft computing and neural networks, introduction to fuzzy logic. As for example, in fuzzy logic, fuzzy relations, fuzzy expert systems, neural networks, machine learning using neural networks. These are the terms that is being included in the syllabus. With this key concept, we will go to prepare the preliminary phase of preparing COs. So at this point, let me give one brief idea of this Bloom's taxonomy level. First of all, while designing COs are not based on units of the syllabus. Rather, entire set of COs should be, should cover the entire syllabus. So that's why here the COs must be mapped with Bloom's taxonomy, 6 levels of Bloom's taxonomy: remembering, understanding or understand, apply, analyze, evaluate and create. And of course, in case of BTech, it is said that we should not include the remember questions or remember COs in designing the question papers, and not the create and remember is not supposed to include. But however, while designing COs, while designing COs, we include all these 6 type of Bloom's taxonomy. But however, at the final phase of this preparation of COs, we will remove this remember CO and the create CO. Apart from that, we are designing total of 7 COs at the beginning, but finally we will finalize only 5 or 6 maximum COs for the delivery of the course. Here, this soft computing, it does not have a practical component. That's why, of course, it has a practical component, but mainly the emphasis is given to the analyzing and implementation. That's why what we are doing here, we are designing 2 apply level COs. In the first one, while designing the first CO, it is a remembering level CO, and in the remembering level CO, the Bloom's taxonomy assigned some action verbs. Okay, so in the first one, remembering, the action verbs are like identify and list out. These 2 words I have selected. And for understanding, illustrate and classify, these 2 action verbs are selected. For applying, to design the apply level CO, this explain, demonstrate and solve, these 3 words will be taken, action verbs. For next apply, we will use explain, demonstrate and solve. And next, for analysis or analyze level, compare, differentiate and categorize. For evaluate, we will use appraise, judge and criticize. For create, we will use invent, hypothesize and develop. So now we will start designing these COs. First of all, remembering COs. Out of this key concept, we will find certain things which can be used as remembering. What I have given here, list out different methods of providing intelligence to a machine. If you see the course itself, soft computing, it implies that soft computing is all about providing how to provide intelligence. We need to learn how to provide intelligence to a system. So that's why this first CO we have prepared is as list out different methods of providing intelligence to a machine. In the second CO, I have designed from understand level, and I have used the classify, this word action verb, in order to construct this CO. Classify real life problems for use of appropriate methods of integrating intelligence to a machine. Third one is from apply level. For apply, we are using this demonstrate, this action verb demonstrate is being used here. So now demonstrate, if we look at this content, course syllabus content, then we can see the neural network is one method, genetic algorithm is one method, fuzzy logic is one method. So demonstrate the use of neural networks to solve complex problem. This might be one apply level CO which can be designed for the course. Similarly, for second apply level CO, explain the method of converting fuzzy logic or fuzzy concept from 2D concept for better appreciation. So here the fuzzy logic is being covered in CO4, and in the analyze level, what we are doing, compare. This action verb I am taking from here is compare, and there are lot many different action verbs are there and specified by Bloom's taxonomy. So compare the performance of different machine learning algorithms using tools available in MATLAB and Python. It will include some application as well as analysis of algorithms. And CO6 is critically analyzed, which is of evaluate level, the pros and cons of the existing solution for real life problems. And finally, in the create level, invent new algorithm to efficiently solve there's some contemporary problems in training machines. However, this will not be added in the final set of COs, but still for at the beginning of this preparation, we must have to include one create COs. So with this, we'll go to the next phase where we are supposed to map the COs with POs. This is called CO-PO mapping. This is very important. And this set of COs, I mean, first of all, we need to understand what are the various POs that is being designed. It is, I have shown in the very beginning of this presentation that MBA has demonstrated 12 different POs for a course and which need to be mapped with the COs. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, these are called dependent or lower level POs, and these are mapped with the Bloom's taxonomy. And rest of the POs, which are called professional POs, and these professional POs are basically, it is for getting the high level of understanding or learning of students in the during the delivery of the course. So this COs and POs mapping is very important. And at this point, it is important to know that while we map the PO with a given CO, the important thing is how do we meet this PO. For example, this PO12 actually, this is called the lifelong learning of education. Means it says that the student or the graduate should understand or to learn to they should understand how to learn lifelong. Means they need to do some self-learning. Similarly, PO10, it is actually the communication skill. Okay, so 6 it stays is society, and 7 it is sustainability. That way, all these things to be mapped with the COs. And in the first one, I have given that PO1, which is called the remembering. That is not remembering. It is PO1 is engineering knowledge. If I remember, it is engineering knowledge. That engineering knowledge actually, by delivering the content to the learners, engineering knowledge should be enhanced, and this has been assigned either 1, 2, or 3. 1 means the lowest one, and the 3 is the highest one. So this level of understanding of students as per the need of this Bloom's taxonomy. And at this point, I'll quickly show those POs for better understanding. Set of POs. Okay, these are the set of POs. That is, first PO1 is engineering knowledge, then second one is problem analysis, fourth one is a design of solution, fourth is investigation, of course, 5 is modern tools, then engineering and society, 7 is environment, sustainability, ethics. That way it is being designed. And now, while designing or while filling the CO and PO mappings here, Okay, so what do we mean by this mapping table? See, this PO2, it is problem analysis. CO is classify real life problems for use of appropriate method of integrating intelligence to machine. Now, what this PO and CO and PO mapping table says that while delivering the content under this under this CO2, we must have to make sure that the student, they understand, they acquire some engineering knowledge, and this is assigned to 3 maximum knowledge they will get. And then in 2 problem analysis, they will be able to analyze various problems. Means after delivering of the content, they will understand up to some extent, not fully but partly or partially, they will understand how the problem could be analyzed. Similarly, for 3, which is a design of solution, they will learn to design a solution. And in the 4th one, which is investigation, they will be able to investigate various problems. Now here, while designing or while delivering the content of this topic, we must have to take care. And along with that, this is important thing here is tools used. Means what method we are adopting in order to deliver that content, so that the knowledge of students will be increased. Then also student will be able to understand the problems or analyze the problem. They will be able to understand the solution. They will be able to investigate the need of in order to solve the problem. So for that, it is there. So there are various tools available for delivering content. Out of that, few of them are very known: the lectures, audio visuals, examples, illustrations. And similarly, in these presentations, discussions, writing, these are another tools that is used for delivering content. It is said in many research papers that if we use the lectures, like presentation given by the faculty members during the class, then they will understand or they can cover only the topic which is related to remembering. If we want to deliver some content in the level of understanding or in the level of application, then we must have to use different type of tools. For example, a presentation given by student, some questions to be answered in a written form by students. So these are few teaching tools that can be used for delivering content under CO type understanding. Similarly, for apply, we must have to give some practice questions. We have to give some demonstration. There is another few methods like teach back. Students will teach in the class. Flip classroom. There is one. This is another method of. This is another new modern teaching method, teaching learning method. In the flipped classroom, what we do, the professor or the instructor, he records his video and give to the students in advance. And while the students will come into lecture or the learning hall, they will go through the video given by the professor. And in the classroom, instead of teaching by professors, the professor will set some question, they'll ask some questions, and finally this process means the classroom will be transferred to home and homework will be brought to the classroom. That is called flipped classroom concept. And this flipped classroom, if we use in delivering some lecture, I mean delivering some content of the syllabus, it will meet the expectation of 10, I mean this communication skill. Okay, communication skill of the student will be improved. And similarly, 8, ethics will be improved. How? Because if the student will be are supposed to answer some questions during the classroom itself, then definitely they will try to speak in the language, basically English, and communication skill will be improved. And then ethics means they will understand what is the importance of ethics, how to present things in a proper way. So what I wanted to mean here, what I wanted to convey here, in order to map POs with COs, particular CO, either maybe apply or maybe analyze, whatever it is, in order to do that, we must have to take into account what type of teaching tool we are using to deliver that content. Unless we use a specific teaching tool, like demonstration, teach back, flip classroom, reaching or this possibility of delivering apply level CO is difficult. That's why if we do not that, we cannot map these POs with COs. But however, if we use some demonstration, some teach back, or some kind of discussion questions, then that way it can map the map each of the PO with justification to the CO, and that will meet the need of the OB, where it is clearly mentioned that you must have to map the COs with POs, and this mapping of COs and POs will finally lead to understanding the attainment level of the particular course. Should I take a break at this point, and can we take some questions?
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Audience can send their questions through the chat window. We will just wait for a few seconds.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Please continue, sir. We'll take the questions at the end.
Okay, fine. So actually, I'm just keep on talking continuously, and this is not a good habit in OB. That's why I wanted to have some questions to interact. Anyways, I will continue, and we'll take questions at the end of this session.
Yes, sir.
So I think I'm able to communicate what I wanted to mean, because this mapping of COs and POs are very important in OB system, and matching these numbers, I mean putting these numbers, we should not put these numbers, this mapping randomly 1 2 3. There should be one justification why we are putting 1, why we are putting 2, why some POs are not being met, like that. So this is the second phase, I mean this is the third phase, not the second phase, where the COs will be mapped with POs. In next phase of this preparation, next phase of this COPO preparation, this is actually this is finalizing. We are finalizing all the COs and PO mapping. At this point, what we can do, out of 7 COs that we have designed, we can remove few of them, because the create level COs and the remembering level COs should not be included in the final list. However, it does not mean that we should exclude the I mean delivery of the content belonging to those COs, I mean remembering and create, we have to include, but it is not been included in the questions. That's why from the final list of COs, this remembering and create level COs been need to be removed. And finally, in this soft computing course, we have finalized these 5 COs for this course. In the first one, it is say classify real life problems, and slightly I have modified because it is a final pre-final stage of this preparation. So classify real life problems to integrate or integrating intelligence to a machine. I mean, here this CO is mapped with various POs, 3 to 1, 2, 1 to 2, that way these are the mapping. And the second one we are keeping, this is one apply level CO, demonstrate the use of neural networks. Third one is also apply level, explain, the P stands for apply, explain the method of converting fuzzy concept to 2D concept. And the fourth one, it is compare the performance of different machine learning algorithms using tools available in MATLAB and Python. And finally, critically analyze, this is one evaluate level CO that we have used in the present in the course, and critically analyze the positive and negative points of this COPO, I mean this course, I mean different real-time solutions. And this is the final table. Here it comes in a specific way, like here it is the PO5, which is PO5 is actually that is analyzed level. and this is been set to 3, and this rest of this 1, 1, 2, and 1, and finally this another, this one, this last one. After preparing this PO and CO and PO mapping, what we need to do, we need to take an average of all these values. This value, average value, will finally be used for calculating the attainment, because in the OBE process, all the cores must have some COs, all COs must be mapped with POs, and finally all the cores need to be calculated whether it is been attained or not. That attainment calculation is very important part of OBE system, and in order to calculate the attainment of a particular course, and this average value, mapping of course of average value is important. This average value, there are different methods of calculating this average value. Basically this field and unfilled, this is this whatever we have filled here, it is, we'll consider here, for example, this particular column, if you take, so 1 2 3 4 5 3 4 columns are filled, so we have to average it by 1 plus 1 plus 1 divided by 4, means 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 divided by 4, means since this is we are not taking, so we need not have to take it as a 5. So this is a one method used for computing this average value. And finally these average values are being taken, and this average value will be carried forward to the final attainment calculation, and that attainment calculation will actually tell whether this one will be, I mean, this course delivery is effective or not. So this actually ends the process of preparing CO and PO, and CO preparation and CO-PO mapping table. And if we go, and after that we will go back to our questions, previous questions that we have. This is one question here, because OB says that after every delivery of particular content, we need to understand whether the student have understood or they have learned or not. It is needless to say that the responsibility in OB, responsibility goes to the students to learn. However, teacher, he has to guide the learners in a proper way, so that we can understand whether he has learned it or not. Now, as a result, whether, I mean, to assess means after delivering whether the learners have learned or not, the process of assessment is actually done. The assessment is evaluated, and based on the evaluation, we have come to a conclusion that the student or the learners have learned it or not. For this, in the second part of my webinar presentation, I have devised this question. Take a sample COs from 2 institutions of different rank. In the rank, in the sense that we can take one course in computer engineering, we can take one subject, say data structure. So take the COs prepared by top organizations like NIT, take one such CO designed for the same course, and that is designed for some premier organization, and you take your own COs. Now you compare those COs and find out whether which one is better, or evaluate the effectiveness of both the sets. I mean, take 2 organizations into account, different organization of different rank, and take the same course and evaluate or analyze those COs. And then after taking that, you evaluate it to find the effectiveness of both the sets. In order to answer that question, you have to consider the faculty profile of that institution, learners' expectation, and work culture of the selected institution before formulating the evaluation. So this rubric is being designed in order to evaluate those assessment. And in case of the first, it has 5 different components. First one, opening and closing statement. It is a sample rubric that I have designed in order to evaluate the assessment. And based on that, this entire process of understanding or entire process of learning we can evaluate, and that will give, say, attain that. Based on that evaluation, we can calculate the attainment level of particular course. And I think it's not possible to do it right now within this stipulated time. So I am giving this as an assignment, and maybe if those who are interested, then you can try this out, and you can if they do that, if somebody does it, then definitely they will understand actually the impact of the COs and the process of, I mean, impact of the well-designed COs in order to successful implementation of OB. So yeah, with this I have come to the end of this webinar. So now I can take few questions if it is there.
Thank you, sir. The first question is, should course goal be the first step before COs are formed?
Yes, sir.
Should course goal be the first step before COs are formed?
Actually, sir, it's not. I'm not clearly understanding the question. What is the first step?
Should course goal be the first step before
Course goal.
COs are
Course
formed?
goal.
Yes.
Course goal, I think course goal, this word course goal is actually, I do not think that this is a term used in OB. They have devised two terms only. One is course objectives. Nowadays course objectives are not highly used. Only the course outcomes are given. Outcomes means actually what is our expectation at the end of the delivery or completion of the course. So basically I think the goal and these outcomes are aligned together, but the proper term that is used is not the goal. It is the proper term, it is the course outcome, because outcome means we need to keep it in mind the end result. End result is nothing but the goal. Yeah, am I right?
I hope they can respond. The next question is, what are the tools to measure the COs and POs?
Tools, there is no tools to measure the COs, measure the effectiveness of the CO. Measure the CO means what in what aspect we wanted to measure. Basically the COs mean well designed COs are considered to be supposed to be very effective in the sense that when when the end of the course, those COs are possible to attain, and that way we can measure. And finally this effectiveness of those COs are measured in terms of the evaluation process, by the evaluation process.
Next question is, differentiating learning levels among students should be done at induction level, right?
Yes, it's not necessarily true, I think, not in the induction level. During the delivery of the course itself, we will learn, we will understand the level of understanding of students, the quality, diversity of the students, because at the very beginning, the first impression is the last impression, it is good, but it is always not true. Those hardworking students can do better than those which seems to be very bright at the beginning of the session. So over the delivery of the course, in my opinion, over the delivery of the course, we will understand the diversity and the type of students that we have in order to deliver the content.
For all subjects, is it possible to have COs in all levels of Bloom's taxonomy?
This is actually controversial questions. I have gone through COs designed by many universities. All of them are preparing COs only from I mean, only up to application level. And all COs are not necessarily to be there in a course. First of all, these create level COs should not be there in BTech. It is been said by NBA guidelines itself. But basically most of the COs we have analyzed at least 12 different universities for preparing our COs. They are completing their COs up to application. Very few universities they are going up to analyze level. Even evaluate level and create level COs are not present in most of the universities, good universities. So it is the expectation, it is the perception of the instructor and level of students that they have in their institution. Based on that, they can design their COs. It's not necessary that it should have the all different COs. In fact, create level CO should not be there at all in BTech course.
Thank you, sir. How many COs are necessary for laboratory courses?
Laboratory courses, there will be mainly application level, application and analyze level COs, and maximum 5, minimum 4, maximum 5. 4 to 5 is more than enough.
What are the different methods to measure student learning in classroom as it happens other than 1 minute paper, muddiest point, etc.?
So this type of 1 minute paper and all these type of tools could be used, of course, to understand the immediate understanding whether they have learned in the session or not. Like group discussion can be carried out. Of course, it is very time consuming, but it is good idea. And maybe some small short questions which can be asked to the student during the presentation, I mean during the delivery of the lecture. Then it is easier to understand whether they have learned or not. But of course, if the strength of student is very large, means 60 students, it is really not possible to understand or to find out or figure out whether they have understood all the things by all the students or not.
Please explain the highlighted area in the averaging of CO mapping. How was the figure 1 corrected to 3?
How was the
Averaging of CO mapping.
average of CO mapping? Yes. See, average of CO mapping, what we have found out, there are 3 different methods of finding the average. First of all, there is one method which is called logical average. For example, this, if we see this column 331, and out of that 331, if we take it logically, then it is 3. This logical average. Another one, 3 plus 3, 6 plus 1, 7 divided by 3. That is 7 divided by 3 is 2 point something. That is also 1. Another one, take you rounded value, taking the rounded value of this one. There are 3 different methods, and many universities follow different methods for finding the average value of this COPO mapping. Now the question is, what we are following in our university, we are taking the direct average, means 3 plus 3, this is 7 plus 7 divided by 3, it is 2.6, I think. So we are keeping 2.6 here. So that is the average we are taking. But it's not necessarily true. If you want to take this one, that is called logical average, means here 3 3 2 3 and 1 1, so we can make it 3. It's no hard and fast rule for that. Whatever we have learned or we have seen in many COPO mapping tables used by different university, any of the one method is used, and it is no way going to harm the attainment level, because main objective of this preparing average is to calculate the attainment level at the end of the course or end of the entire semester. So whatever the method you use, be consistent, and there is no hard and fast rule, and it will not affect much in the calculation of attainment. So in our case, in Marwadi University, we are taking the average value, that computational average, 3 plus 3, 6 plus 4, 10 divided by, here it is not exactly I am showing that value, I'm just giving one example, but in our application we are taking the mathematical average of all the values, and those where we do not have any point, we are not adding that. So here 2 plus 2, 4 plus 6, 10 divided by 3, 3 point something will be the average. That way we are taking.
Okay. Whether COs need to be comprehensive, considering entire course, or whether COs need to be unit-wise.
No. It is very true. I'm confident enough that it should not be unit-wise. It should be for the entire course. It should not be for the unit-wise. Never do that.
Can you share some mobile apps available which can help instructors assess classroom learning?
Right now, I cannot tell you. I do not have any good idea of good apps for evaluating that. You're talking about evaluation level applications.
Yes, sir.
I think we do not have that, but still, if we use some canvas, then we can design our questions. And SRM University, they said that they have a very good set of questions. I don't know they are allowed to access from outside or not, but they have a very good set of questions and tools to evaluate students.
The next question is also relating to that. Which free online tools are available to maintain PEOs and CEOs and their mapping?
Sir, your voice is not coming clearly, sir.
Sorry, which free online tools are available to maintain PEOs and CEOs and their mapping?
Free available tools, I think free tools are not there in my knowledge, as far as my knowledge goes. But many companies, they have designing some new softwares. In case of Marwadi University, we have our own system, own online system that we manage all COPOs, attainment calculation, everything online. But most many time online system does not help. We should have to have the actual method of implementation. We should know the actual method of implementation. So it is no so far I do not think that there is a very standard tool is being designed and deployed globally which can I mean online they can keep the things.
Yes, sir. So that was the last question, sir. Thank you so much for the webinar. I will send you the recording.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for giving us opportunities to speak before everyone present in the seminar all over the globe. Thank you very much. Hope to see you once again in future time.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.